Legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed, breathing in through our noses and out through our mouths. Feeling the power of you controlling your breathing. Knowing, remembering, it's the same power we use to control our thinking. Now use that power. Use your determination to see in your mind today your best effort in all the exercises, stretches, movements we do here together. See it in your mind right now. See yourself doing the best you can, giving the best effort you've ever done for anything. Maybe you want to visualize the last time we did these exercises and stretches together. Go there and think right now about what you could do better or differently this time. It's the same process we use to grow our minds and grow the strength and health of our bodies and energy.
Is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time. And we gon' make you lose your mind. Everybody just have a good time. Party rock is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time. And we gon' make you lose your mind. We just wanna see you shake that.
Hard rock, looking for your girl, she on me jock. Now stop when we in the spot. Booty moving weight like she on the block. With a drink, I got to know. Top jeans tattoo, cause I'm rock wrong. Half black, half white, diamond now. Gang of money, opened up.
Yo, I'm running through these halls like Drano. I got that devilish flow, rock and roll, no halo. We party rock. Yeah, that's the crew that I'm repping on a rise to the top. No lead in our Zeppelin. Hey,
party rock is in the house tonight. Woo! Everybody just have a good time.
Yeah,
and we gon' make you lose your mind. Everybody just have a good time.
Let's go.
Party rock is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time.
Feeling
and we gon' make you lose your mind. We just wanna see you shake that.
Leo Messi, la pared es buena, Leo Messi, Leo Messi, Leo Messi, ¡golazo!
Good morning, guys. If we continue with the computer metaphor, the computer programming metaphor, if we accept the idea that we are the programmers, that we're in charge of our lives, and that we can create any mindset we want, The next important, huge step is to understand that we can write the program. We can write the program as we imagine it to be. Whatever life we dream of, whatever we dream of becoming for ourselves, this is the greatest insight into being human. This is the greatest thing, our awareness, our ability to be aware of what we are right now, and then write a new program. It's the second creation of you, and that is your ability. You can do that. It takes hard work, but writing it down and then actually living by that each and every day will transform you. Have a great day, everyone.
I think people play small by default. I think we're scared by default. I think we listen to other people's opinions too much by default. If you've got a dream for yourself, that you have to cancel that small conversation in your head that's telling you all the reasons why you can't do it, you can't get started. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a baseball player in the season because Kelly Gruber was my favorite player of all time, third baseman for the Toronto Blue Jays. I wanted to be a baseball player during the season and a police officer in the offseason. I was like, of course that's possible. Even though, like, who's done that? Nobody. But I was going to do that because why not? Of course that's possible, because when you're a kid, everything is possible. And then what ends up happening is it gets put in you by your family, society, media, your school, etc. That's what you want to be. You can't do that. What single baseball player, first of all, you're never going to make it as a baseball player because the odds are ridiculously low. And then tell me one baseball player who's ever been also a police officer in the off season. Like, that's not going to happen for you, Carmichael. And the dreams get squashed out of us. And so I don't think that that's your voice. I think that voice that's telling you that you can't do it is actually not your voice. Your voice is telling you that you're awesome and you're amazing. You can do whatever you want to do. It's the collective voice of society and pressures put on us that telling us that, no, we can't do this because we might fail and we might look bad and people might judge us. Need motivation?
Watch the top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I watch these videos every day because I need them for motivation. Being around successful entrepreneurs every morning helps me believe that I can do great things too. It's like your morning coffee, but for your goals, kickstarting your day with a blast of positivity. So here is a challenge for you. Try watching one video every morning for the next 30 days, and let's find out together if they help you do great things too. If you're in, leave a hashtag Believe in the comments below so I can celebrate with you. So today, let's learn from me and my team's take on my top 10 rules of success. Enjoy. Rule number 2 is build your reputation. You could make all of your videos long form in 1 day per month or in half a day per month.
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay, so that's achievable to maintain your guitar brand. If you wanted to expand content, that may mean bringing on other people as well. And it could be even changing the name of the main channel to, instead of it just being Lauren Bateman, it could be the Lauren Bateman Institute. Maybe that's too corporate, but the Lauren Bateman, I don't know,
Academy
school,
or something.
Lauren Bateman Academy, Lauren Bateman Rock School, you know, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, which then you are the leader, but you don't have to be the only creator. But it's still a guitar channel. Like, if you didn't have this channel, who's going to buy your YouTube course? You kind of need to maintain it and build it and grow it. And the more that you build reputation authority there, the more everything else sells and does well too.
Right.
If you didn't have a passion for it, it's a different story. The fact that you still love doing it and it takes 1 day a month, half a day a month to make content, that's achievable, right? It's not like you're in the studio every day making videos. We got to get you out. But transitioning the name to being a company and away from just being Lauren Bateman allows you to bring in more people, whether they're your students, whether they're other teachers. I mean, students are great, graduating students, so people who've been, I'm trying to remember back to our airport conversation, but you had these beginners and then you had a second level. Is that still?
Yeah. Yes. Yes,
Okay.
we do have that. Yeah.
Okay, so taking people who graduated from the higher level or your more advanced students, and then having them play a song, teach a song, share their experience, tell their story. Storytelling could be a big part of this, of somebody who, I mean, I don't know why you picked up the guitar. I don't know if you were very musical growing up or you had 2 left fingers. Like, those stories could inspire people as well. And so the stories of some of the students and how now they can pick up and play something even more advanced, but to hear their story. Like, there's a lot of options you can make with the content, but you can't do it as long as you have to be the main person doing everything all the time.
Rule number 3 is do your passion.
If you're doing a podcast and you're doing an interview-based podcast like this, awesome. You better first off love interviewing people. Like, if you don't like talking to people, you're not going to have much success. Like, for people who say, I'll do whatever it takes, you won't do whatever. Like, you're going to quit and give up. And you're going up against people who love doing it. So you're always going to lose. So if you're starting a podcast that's interview-based, amazing. Bring on people who you actually want to talk to. So reach out to guests, not just because they're some big name, but you actually care about their story and you want to ask them something. Next, make it really personal. Don't just ask questions that you think your audience is going to care about. Treat it as a free coaching session for you. So when you're bringing somebody on, even the intro, like, it doesn't matter what the intro is. I don't need you to read my official bio. Like, the best intro that you can give is what you like about the person. Hey, I brought Evan Carmichael on today because he is whatever you like. Because here's what happens. Most people will read the same intro. And I have an intro. You can go to my website, you can find it. But if you lead your show with the same intro that everybody else has, you have the same intro as everybody else has. You have the same show that everybody else has. If you ask me the same 18 questions that everybody else asked me, there's nothing unique about your podcast.
Yes.
But if you make it unique to you, to say, hey, Evan, I love you because my show is about being unbreakable, and you broke your neck on your tour last year and kept going, and I just love you for that. Awesome. Like, that's a super unique intro that nobody else has given me. And I also know that you care about my story. You've done even your first question, but asking about my speaking gig and people showed up, like, you've done some homework. And then make it a coaching session for you. It's like, what are you struggling with? What do you need help with? And then you get unique content that nobody else has. And that's how you start to win. So I think a lot of people who are doing podcasts or YouTube channels, they fall into that trap of trying to be professional and trying to do it like everybody else does. And then now you just have a show like everybody else has, and you never actually win.
Rule number 4 is be intentional.
Whoever you look up to and respect, you could be around them every day through their videos, through their books, through their podcasts. And no matter how great a day you have today, tomorrow you're waking up and you're starting over. You need the daily reminder. And so you could be more intentional with what you're feeding into your brain. Most people wake up and they start scrolling, and there's no intentionality behind it. How much time have you wasted on Instagram just scrolling through content and it's not feeding you? And YouTube and other platforms, LinkedIn, but you could be intentional with who you follow and what you consume, especially at the start of the day. Because if you start your day consuming the thing that makes you feel more belief, more confident, more bold, that's going to change the direction of that day. And you do that consistently, it's going to change the direction of your life.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight our favorite lessons from the video that will inspire you to remember what you learned today and actually apply them. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there. Rule number 5 is build a team.
You already have 5 people, which already for a lot of people is like crazy. Yeah. How did you get to 5 people? Wow, that's awesome, because I can't even pay myself, right? Yeah. The idea of having a team is crazy, right? We're at 42 people now on my team, right? And so a lot of the stuff, like, I wouldn't be doing a lot of the stuff if I didn't have team to help me with everything.
Yeah.
And so all of the problems become, yes, they're problems, but they become team members who will solve it. And again, if you're building a brand that I'm going to teach you to become a mogul, then it's just expected that you're going to have team help you with all these things.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think that's fairly simple in terms of your first question. It's like, okay, yeah, there's 2 brands for every platform. You can keep your name in it, Lauren Bateman, and then whatever else comes after it. Because even the business side doesn't necessarily have to be you all the time.
Rule number 6 is be a good storyteller.
So the best stories that you say from stage are the ones where you are helping people first, right? Like the best stories that I've told are because I help people one-on-one first. Because when you're speaking live on stage to a group of people, you don't get a lot of fantastic feedback. Like you can kind of look at their faces and see what's going on, but they have a lot of thoughts and yeah buts and what ifs in their head, but they're not expressing them. But when you sit down with somebody one-on-one, you get the feedback. You get to see what they're thinking. You get to hear the real thoughts going on in their head. And so my best stories have come, the stories that I tell on stage, the stories I just told in Vegas, I've told countless times to people one-on-one, and I know how to tell the story so that it moves them to a result. You can have a million different stories, and it's awesome that you're a storyteller. Stories, the point is to get people to move towards some kind of action. So the key is figuring out which story to tell in which context. So if you're going to go on stage and speak, what's the end goal that you want to have happen? And then what's the right story to tell in this situation?
Rule number 7 is discover your greatest strengths.
I think everybody's the best in the world at something. Like you are the best in the world at something. And most people, one, don't believe that. They don't believe they're world class at something. The idea of being world class is for the Steve Jobses of the world and all these other people. It's not like I can't be that level. Or they found something that they want to be great at, but they don't chase it down enough. And so that's what I think is the world's biggest problem. People don't believe in themselves enough. It's what I'm trying to every day tackle and take on, and I'm never going to solve it, but I wake up every day trying to solve it. And I want to gift, that's going to, I guess, be my legacy, or what I'm trying to work towards every day is for people to wake up and feel like I could be great at something. It may not be what my mom was great at, or my dad, or my teachers, or the people around me, right? I'm sure even for you, I'm sure your parents aren't podcasters. It's not what you went to school for, and so that's really hard. It's hard to break the mold. It's hard to say, I'm going to do something different. It's hard to be different, but we know we want to be. You don't look at your parents, and you may love them, but you don't want the life they have. You don't want to be their age and be in their spot. You want something else, but it's really hard to go off on that ledge and say, I'm going to go off and be great, like the world's greatest X, when nobody in your circle, nobody in your town has done that. And that's why people stay small for life and never go off and accomplish great things. And that's what I'm trying to bust out.
Rule number 8 is expand your network.
I want to have a cool environment and, give some value. It's all about value. I just want to be able to make sure the audience gets value and that we can grow our brand, share our message, and get our access out to the people who can actually, use this and can help.
Why do it? It's for the relationship. So if you go to them and you ask for half an hour of their time and you end up filming for half an hour or an hour or whatever, you might get another 2 hours with them because they want to give you a tour of their office, and because, you notice their signed football behind them, and then that leads to a giant story, or they take you to lunch or whatever afterwards. And that's the real value of doing it. Yes, you're getting content, but you're building the relationship, where with a Riverside or a Zoom, it's over. Like, okay, great to meet you, man. Yeah. Awesome.
See you later.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not worth doing that for everybody. But again, for the 100 people who you would love to be able to have in your network, then that is it's a great aspirational play, because you know how to, for the people who are at your level, you know how to do it. For the people who are way above, what's aspirational for you?
Yeah.
But then that becomes a real model, and you should be a little scared, right? Like, you're going to sit down with this person. Oh my God, it's great. Like, this is how you start really building up a lot more access, which then their stories help your community. It's so much easier to hit them up for a show than to say, hey, I'm going to be in New York. Do you want to have lunch?
Right.
Like, they don't want to have
No,
lunch
I don't.
with you.
No, I don't want to have lunch. Yeah.
If you even get a response.
Yeah.
And it's not because it's just they're getting hit up with that request all day long.
Rule number 9 is seek clarity. If you know what you want to do, that's the time to focus and build and grow. Like if you want to build the #1 podcast for entrepreneurs, great. Then when somebody says, hey, do you want to join me at truck driving school? You say no, because you know what you want to do. You have the path. But if you don't know what you do, and you like this, you'll often go on these ebbs and flows. Whenever you don't know what to do, the best thing is to say, yeah, I'll join you at truck driver school.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? Like you go once and you see.
Yeah.
Right? Just like people who decide that pizza is their favorite food before they've tried sushi or burritos or anything else, right? You want to taste it and try. So if you don't have clarity over what you want, you're not going to figure out what you want sitting on the couch. You got to get out there and do. But
Are you ready to bubble? Everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, bubbling, everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 bubbling, dance all night, we go dance all night. Yo, are you ready to bubble? Dance all night, we go dance all night. Ha ha, me want this ya. Dance all night, we go dance all night. Dance all, dance all, dance all, dance. All right, y'all. Are you ready to bubble? Bubbling, everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, bubbling, everybody bubbling, little bubble, bubble, bubbling, bubbling, everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, little bubble, bubbling, yo. Bubbly, 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 bum bum bum, 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 bubbly, 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 bum bubble, bubble, bubble. All right, make way when you see me pass through, and they come with me too. You don't know what to do. Drinks up, hands up, everything in the air. Everybody done young, there's a party over here. That's right, we drink just bubbling. Watch how we wine while the DJ juggling. He got the whole dance floor just bubbling. Champagne bottles just popping. We going on, I guess the night we not stopping. Let's party hard tonight, so going non-stop until the sunlight. We going non-stop until the sunlight. The club done full, only woman inside. It's a good night to get we head tight. It's a good night to get we head tight. Couple up this party going far and fly. Green drinks, we don't care. We go down.
Busquets, lovely movement again by Martin Montoya, and it's Messi, and he's back with a goal.
Morning, guys. Today, Gary Vaynerchuk shares with us his 9th rule for success, and that is don't make excuses. And this is the one where we release ourselves from that victim mode mentality. And he goes on to tell us there's going to be problems. There's going to be political things that we can't control in life. There's going to be health challenges that come up. There's going to be all kinds of things we can't control. But the #1 thing he found that helps him is that he accepts full responsibility and he doesn't make any excuses, no matter what. So whatever happens in his life, and he goes on to tell us that he just says that everything is his fault, because by doing that, he then empowers himself to take control of whatever he can change. So let's remember that. Let's learn from Gary Vaynerchuk. Let's catch ourselves from making excuses. It's very hard. We may be used to it, but if we commit to it, we can change ourselves. Have a great day, everyone.
But if you do have clarity over what you want, then that's the time to put the blinders on and focus. I'm building this thing. Don't distract me with your other opportunities.
And rule number 10, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is surround yourself with success.
If you want to improve your belief, you need to start surrounding yourself with people who make you feel that on a consistent basis. So if you're watching this show, episode 6 of LinkedIn Live with Craig Siegel, awesome. If this is doing anything for you, hey, give Craig a follow. Give him a little recommendation on LinkedIn too. Those always help. And pay attention to future shows, right? Because if you surround yourself, even virtually, with people who make you feel better, who make you have more belief in yourself, that has this ripple effect out for the rest of your day. So the challenge, I think, for a lot of people watching, if you're a fan of Craig Siegel, you're probably the most ambitious person in your circle. You're probably the one who's pouring into other people. You're the one helping others. You're the one encouraging them to go do stuff. Like you, that's who Craig tends to attract in his community, and that's awesome. And keep doing that. But who's pushing you to do more? And you probably don't know somebody in your circle who's pushing you to do more. A lot of the things that we think we want to do, you don't have to commit to that. You don't know what you're capable of in a 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10 year window. So instead of trying to strategize to your future self, we're going to try to strategize from our future self. And what I try to do is think about the Evan who's accomplished the thing that I want to accomplish, and then try to talk to that guy and have future Evan give 2023 Evan some advice. John says that's a very deep-hearted quote. Who first told you that? I was at an event that I was at. Like, man, that's really powerful. So here's what I do, and I invite you to do it with me. It'll take 2 to 3 minutes, not a ton of effort, energy, and I'd love to hear your results. So we're just going to relax, close your eyes. Hopefully nobody's driving. If you're driving, keep your eyes open. And whatever stress is in your body, just let it go. Take a deep breath in and let it go. One more deep breath in and just let it go. No stresses of the day. We're here. We're present. We're focused on making a kick-ass life for ourselves in business. And I want you to go to a moment in the future where you have accomplished the things that are on your list, whatever that looks like. You're going to look at yourself. Future you doesn't know you're there. We're kind of peeking into the future, and we're hopping in on future you who's done the thing that you're so desperately trying to accomplish right now. You have the subscriber count, you're speaking on stage, you have the book deal, you have the revenue in your business or the number in your bank account. Imagine that you're looking at the future version of you who's done the things that 2023 you wants to do. And just look at future you and look at how happy you are and look at what you're doing and look at who's around you and just try to feel the joy of being future you. And you did it in the right way. You did it without scamming people. You did it in a way that's authentic to you. You can be proud of how you got there. And just sit there and kind of feel the energy and the joy and the happiness of like, you did it. You did it. You made it. And then future you now sees you and says, come over here. And you're going to go and talk to future you. And you're going to ask, hey, how did you do this? How did you accomplish this goal? How did you make this happen? And future you whispers in your ear the answer and is telling you exactly what you need to do to get to that goal and to get there even faster than how they did it. And when you've got your answer, you can come out of it. This is, again, a process I use that can be super quick. I don't know how long that took. My eyes were closed. I didn't time it. But try to imagine I've already accomplished the goal. I've already done the thing. And now I'm talking to the future Evan who's done it. Momentum is a thing that most people are missing. And we're living in fear because we don't want to fail. And so we think we have to have the perfect plan. Where the ultimate failure is doing nothing. And so you need to go and take imperfect action, whatever that looks like, whatever the first thing is. And if you can commit to somebody else, even better. If you can commit to somebody else, like tomorrow, let's go to the gym together. or you message somebody, say, will you be on my podcast? Right? And then they say yes. Even the next day when you wake up, it's like, what did I just do?
Yeah.
I don't want to go to the gym. I can't interview this person for are you kidding me? I can't. But you said yes.
Yeah.
So now you have to follow through.
You do.
Right?
Yeah.
And so that is the most important thing, because the first step is the hardest step. And once you start building momentum, then planning can take shape. But it's not the first step. And so we've all had these moments of boldness, and so it's acting when you have those moments of boldness, because they will be fleeting.
What is the common denominator that you find, through all these successful entrepreneurs?
For me, it always comes down to belief in that they can do it. Now, I see the world through the lens of believe anyway, so I biased, but like it just a lot of the people who've had tons of success, like they shouldn't be there. Like you shouldn't be doing what you're doing. From where you came from and what you went through, it's like you shouldn't be here doing this. Like 8-year-old Joe is like, what are you doing? That's not possible. And yet you're here, doing it, right? And so you're an impossibility to younger you, let alone an impossibility like to the world. And so successful entrepreneurs just believe that this thing can happen, even though logically it doesn't make sense. And when people tell you this doesn't make sense, they're right. They are right.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. But you believe in yourself that you're just going to go off and do it. That's the one. 2, I would say they start. They build momentum. Like they just create. They go. Even though it doesn't make sense. They're not going to overthink it for the next 20 years before they decide. Like, I'm going to go get funding. I'm going to find an option. And then poof, here comes Joe. Right? We're like, they didn't have that connection. They didn't know what they were doing. They just started. And then if I had a third, it'd be that they just kept going. It's like, I'm not, one bank tells me no, I'm not going to get funding. Cool. I'm going to keep searching until I find an option. I tell myself that great ideas.
Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo para dar la alegría cosa buena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo para dar la alegría cosa buena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo para dar la alegría cosa buena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo para dar la alegría cosa buena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena.
Just a cameo appearance. A little slow off the mark in his first few minutes, but nothing is slow about Messi now. Here he goes. It's Messi again. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Messi is just magnificent.
Good morning, guys. As we go on our path to infinite mind wealth development, we're going to come across many challenges. And I wanted to share with you some of the challenges I've come across. See, when I decided to start making some changes and really start working on becoming my greater self, there are things that are going to be challenged, including your current internal being. So there would be times when I would be making changes in my life. And naturally, at the current level I was at, I wasn't as secure within myself. And so I would be seeking more positive encouragement or validation from outside sources, including people and friends around me. And when I look back, I laugh at it now because I understand the struggle. There's a constant battle between what you want to become and what you currently are. And that's okay. It's okay to feel that struggle, but I've started to really relish the challenge of continuing to call upon my greater self. Have a great day, everyone.
Ideas flow through me. That great ideas will flow through me. Because it came through me, then it's a great idea. And what that does is kind of shortcut the brain from overanalyzing, over preparing, and overthinking. That as long as you're in a good emotional state, right? Like if you're frustrated or pissed off or upset or jealous, maybe don't trust the ideas that come to you. You know, like if somebody cuts you off in line or in traffic and you want to go chase it, like maybe think on that one. But if you're in a positive place, if you're watching this episode and you feel inspired or hopeful or you want to do more, you're grateful, trust the ideas that come to you, because those ideas often don't make sense. Like your next great idea doesn't make sense because your brain tries to make sense of it, but it doesn't make sense, but your heart wants to do it. So it's listening to your heart and just trusting that great ideas flow through you.
The belief and the motivation to get going. At the beginning, I think we need to focus on why, and then you move to the how, and then as you graduate, you move to the who. So it's like why to how to who, where if you look at where you're at now, you're focused on the who. You know, you're like, who can help me get to where I need to go? Who do I hire to help me with my YouTube strategy? Because you're already a successful entrepreneur and you know that you can't do this all by yourself. But at the beginning, it's much more about the why. Like, why is this so important to you that you have to get up and do this? And the environment, I think, is the thing that holds most people back. Most people's environment has been perfectly created to keep them where they are. And so the environment is the people in your family, your friend circle, what you're listening to every day, who you follow on social media. And why I made my channel was I wanted every day to be around people who pushed me to believe more in me. So I want Steve Jobs in my ear every day. I want Elon Musk in my ear every day. I want people like Walt Disney who've done amazing things in my ear every day. And so that's why I started my channel, for me, selfishly. If you guys are watching this and you love Sean and you respect everything he's built, great. He's got lots of content. Like, subscribe to the channel and watch a video every day. Because if you started your day with a Sean video, you're going to start to think like Sean. You're going to start to think differently. You're going to start to have a little more belief, and to be able to see someone like Sean do it makes you think, maybe I can do it as well. And so the number one thing I think I would change for most people is just the habits in the environment. What are you doing every day? Because entrepreneurs will often get really excited for a moment, and then you wake up the next day and all the energy is gone, and you don't believe in yourself anymore. You can't do it. And so it's like brushing your teeth. You got to do it every day. You got to be in an environment with people and books and podcasts and YouTube videos that make you feel like your big dream is possible. And if you did that every day, you'll start to see the shift.
I think anything great in life is going to come on the other side of fear. If you're only doing things that you're not afraid of at all, you're not doing anything great. If you think about the best things that you've done in life, things that you're most proud of, it came with a healthy dose of fear. Like, you were afraid to do something, and then whether it worked out or whether it didn't, like, you took the step, and you can be proud of that. And so anytime that you want to, if you want to live a meaningful life, you want to be happy, it's going to come with having fear. And I don't think you can eliminate fear. I don't think it's actually healthy. I don't think you should be off saying, well, I have no fear. Like, no, like, this fear, I recognize that I'm going to be afraid to do it, and I'm going to do it anyway because I want to reach the other side. So for me, in my first business, I was 19 years old. I turned down a huge job to start this company. I was making $300 a month. Wasn't feeding myself properly, and all just not a fantastic life. But I wanted to see this business succeed, and for me, it was really the fear of regret. I could deal with the business not working and me having to go back and get a job. I couldn't deal with me getting a job and then not knowing what happened with that business. Like, what if I just stayed there? What if I tried that? What if I said yes? What if I didn't want to live with an entire lifetime of regret? And so I used the fear of regret to motivate me to go and do the thing that I was afraid of doing, because I didn't know if it would,
nobody in my family was an entrepreneur. I wasn't really an entrepreneur. I had no business background. I had no education. All of the things were, against me on paper. But I just made the future fear bigger than the current fear. And that motivated me to go off and try it. And it's one of the things I'm most proud of. Like what I did in my first business stood on the other side of that fear. My fear to get going, my fear to say no to that big job, my fear of, my friends judging me for failing. I succeeded, and that is one of the highlights, right? Any major thing that you're going to do in your life, the things that you will be the most proud of and want to tell your grandkids about is going to come after you conquer some fear.
If you want to be selling coaching services, I need to see you coach. You talking to the camera about how to use the law of attraction doesn't mean that you're a good coach. Wayne Gretzky could be a great hockey player. Was he a great coach? I don't know. Was he a good coach?
I don't know.
Yeah. He coached Team Canada, but I don't know if he's any good.
He helps with the Oilers for sure. So.
Okay. So, but like a lot of the best players actually suck at coaching.
That's right. Yeah.
It could be great that you've had the success, but it doesn't mean you can teach me.
Yeah.
So show me you coaching.
Okay.
So we're actually doing it right now. Like I'm coaching.
Yeah.
So you just flip it.
Yeah.
So you take people who are either in the program already and go deeper with them, or they're part of your group coaching. Actually, even how do we do this? You're in Movement Makers. You paid to be in Movement Makers. That's a group environment with everybody. And then we have this opportunity that comes up. We took 4 people and we're doing one-on-ones. If you had your group, there would be people who want to do one-on-ones.
Yeah.
And then I get to see you coaching.
Right.
And there's no prep.
Right.
Because the prep is your years of experience.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're going to ask me coming in here, right? That's the prep. If you came in and asked me about Edmonton or something, I have no answer.
Yeah.
You're asking me things that I should have an answer to.
Yeah.
And so it makes them feel great.
Yeah.
It's usually more fun to make because you're actually talking to somebody instead of just talking to a camera.
Yeah.
And it helps showcase. The caveat is you actually have to be a good coach.
For sure.
If you suck at coaching, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Right. Hopefully you're great and you show off how great you are.
Yeah.
That also is great conversion for your landing page. So when it says your, Ben landing page for coaching, instead of just testimonials,
actually you
get to see you
coaching. Yeah. Totally.
Right. Like here's Ben in action.
Right.
And we get to see you do what you do.
Right.
So it's a conversion tool as well.
Cool.
It's great for your email list.
Yeah.
So when people sign up for your email list, they download your $7 thing or free thing or whatever.
Yeah.
In the autoresponder sequence, they can also see you coaching people. Oh, he's a coach.
Right.
And when people see themselves in the person that you're coaching, then like, oh, if he can help her, maybe he can help me.
For sure. Yeah.
Right. So it's sales pitch without any sales.
Why I didn't resonate with a lot of the common advice, because a lot of my contemporaries, one of the biggest things that they will say is, don't compare yourself to others. It's toxic. Never compare yourself to others. I'm like, really? I don't know. I like comparing myself to others, but I realize that most people just don't do it in a healthy way. I mean, even my YouTube channel, the very first videos were, the channel is called Modeling the Masters. Like, hey, how can you learn from Steve Jobs and Oprah Winfrey and Warren Buffett and all these people to help you become better? And so I think the danger is most people, when they compare themselves to others, they push themselves down. So, oh, well, I can't do this because Cyrus is already doing it, and he's got a better voice than me. He started 20 years ago, and he asks great questions. Like, I'm just getting started, and I suck. I can never be like Cyrus. And so we use that to beat ourselves down, push ourselves down. Where I think if you look to somebody, if somebody wants to get started in broadcasting and they look at Cyrus, they can say, man, look what Cyrus did. If he can do it, I can too. And you use that as a push forward. But I think the key thing is, you need a push. Like if you don't have any frame of reference, if you don't know that it's possible, most people stay stuck. And so the key is not to stay stuck. Don't push yourself down, but use inspiration from your heroes to push yourself forward into gear to say, hey, if they can do it, I can too. And I could probably get there faster because it's only easier to get going now.
If you want to do amazing things in your life, who do you tell that to?
Yeah.
Like probably nobody. Like maybe your spouse, and hopefully they're supportive. But a lot of us don't have anybody. And so when you can, whether you create your own group or find the group that's actually your people, it's so amazing. It's great. And so I've been fortunate to be in a bunch of rooms, and also I like being able to bring people together in our program. So it's not so much about me, although I hopefully have something to share when I'm leading things, but also Like I want Sarah to meet John.
Yeah.
And like and people start businesses together and stay in touch together. Like you talk about the mastermind. I do this 4 times a year mastermind group for thought leaders. You have to be a thought leader creating content. And 4 of the women in the group all share the same house. So like they get an Airbnb and they're all from different countries, Norway, Canada, United States, and another United States in a different state. And every time they're booking, they share an Airbnb, and the 4 of them take over this house. It's like they created amazing friendship. It's not even just about a business relationship, but they do shows together and help each other out. But like they formed friendships where
And here we are again. Legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed, deep breaths in through our noses and out through our mouths. The way we began. The way it all begins, always. Always with our thoughts. Our powerful minds, which are always subject to our control, no matter how hard it's been to control them. We know the truth, don't we? We saw it today in our effort. We see it every day in life, in the gym of life. We know that we have the power to determine what thoughts we will act upon, and therefore we also have that power to determine what feelings we will allow to flow out and through us. Because our feelings are ultimately connected to our thinking. And if we control our breath with our thoughts, we can always control our thoughts and therefore our feelings. To learn and to grow and to be mind healthy and mind wealthy, peaceful, kind, loving, free and successful in whatever we do, wherever we are, no matter what. That's why we are already, whether we know it or not, determined nation. A people, a nation that always has the power to determine, to think, and to be positively, undoubtedly, unwaveringly loving